these trim pieces from Lowe's saved me a ton of time. So I'd done crown molding before, but those are a lifesaver. Okay, so we'll wrap this up. New air conditioner, did not budget for that. An expense that you're not expecting when you renovate. That's our same washer and dryer. Again, John Murphy did so much in this room to help me with the plumbing. It's really unbelievable. Also, that's Reynolds Heating and Plumbing for those of you in the Richmond area, and Mike Landgrave did a great job, was really helpful. This room turned out pretty good. This was one of those rooms that went pretty much according to plan. New light fixtures, there was no light in here. The flooring was pretty smooth, so really not a whole lot there. The dining room, this was where the old kitchen was. So, like, remember, that was a wall all the way across there where that header is. It came straight down. There was no access to that side of the house through here. It was all a wall. Their kitchen sink and base cabinets were around there and then wrapped down this wall. There was an appliance here. I think there was an appliance over here. And so, yeah, this was their kitchen. It was kind of dark because you can see that window is not going to let in too much natural light with a brick house right there. We tore that wall out and decided this is a good place for our dining room. So we bought a light fixture that we like. We have yet to put a table there. We trimmed out where the old wall used to be. There was a short wall all the way up through here, and we trimmed it out as best we could. New thermostat. I really don't know if that's a good purchase or not, but I think it's motion activated. Well, maybe not. But we'll see. Maybe it'll pay for itself off in the end. This wall right here was not here at all. You could see right through to the other side of the house. So we built this wall, and we built it like this to match the kitchen counter and cabinets that we got on Craigslist for really cheap. And that's kind of one of the advantages when you are tearing down as many walls as we tore down. You can build the walls to fit the specs of the good deals you find. And we thought this was a great deal. Craigslist saved us a lot of money on a lot of stuff. We already had the appliances. I guess one of the things that I would say to people who are thinking about remodeling, even kitchens or bathrooms, is if you are going to remodel and do tile backsplashes, it is going to cost you a ton of money if you go with the nice glass type backsplashes or decorative designer backsplashes that you see on HGTV or other channels. I mean a ton of money. We could really only afford to do this strip of these glass tiles as an accent. And then these subway tiles are actually really cheap. So that turned out to be a great option because we wanted to go all the way to the ceiling with the tiles, but there is no way we could afford to go glass tiles all the way up to the ceiling. And you could, even in the original bathroom that I did, I only did strips of these glass tiles because I love the way they look. They're just way too expensive. We spent pretty good money on fixtures because we want them to be permanent. This is what my wife wanted, so this is what we have. The countertop and the sink and all the cabinets were $500. Sherry Reynolds found them, a friend of ours, and we are really grateful for that find. The countertop alone would have been a couple $1,000s to buy this much Corian countertop. Kevin, a friend of ours, helped install it. Kevin and Tony, so if those guys ever see this, we owe you a lot. Venting that microwave out the roof was not easy at all. These vaulted ceilings, let me tell you something about vaulted ceilings. They are really attractive. I've had them in 2 houses now. I really like the look of vaulted ceilings and high ceilings. If you have to work in the attic of a vaulted ceiling, it is going to be terrible. And the closer you get to the edge of the house, like over in that corner where the vaulted ceiling comes down and the roof is going up, you have practically no room to work. So it was very difficult to run the venting out that roof there. We ended up having to run the vent up into the vaulted ceiling, a 4-inch PVC pipe up to where we could actually have access towards the top of the vaulted ceiling and then vent it out of the house. And it worked out, but it is difficult. So keep that in mind if you're doing things with vaulted ceilings. I have no idea how they put that pot light there. That was there when we got here. If you are in the attic, you have maybe 6 inches where that pot light is between the attic rafters and the roof. So I'm sure there's a trick for professionals who work in attics with vaulted ceilings. I'm not a professional and I don't know the trick. I built this cabinet for the wall oven. It doesn't look bad. But really, cabinetry is not something you should try on your own if you're trying to remodel a house. It is going to take you way too much time to figure out how to do it the right way, and at the end of the day, it's going to look like a hack job, probably. Now, you may not think that looks much like a hack job. It is, trust me. It's plenty of space, it's passable, but it's not nearly as nice as it would have been to just, either pay a carpenter to come build some cabinets or else buy some cabinets and rough them in and make them work. We're going to put storage up there. Again, just one of those things that was not essential when we moved in. The lights turned out pretty good in there, all the way from the under cabinet lighting, which are the nice LED lights. That's one place we did decide to spend money, to the light that we put inside that glass cabinet, to the hanging lights. Even the pot lights that were already here in the corner of the room turned out really nice. I knew how expensive windows and doors are. Just know that if you go to replace windows and doors, especially if you go to put in French doors and you've never done it before, you had better have somebody there who knows what they're doing, or else be prepared to spend a long, long time figuring out how to get the windows and doors right. This is the bedroom. It turned out really nice. I'm very pleased with it. Jana Murphy helped pick out all the color in here, and it goes really well, not only with the bedspread that my wife likes, but it just looks really nice with the floor. This kind of color wall with the white trim is exactly what we wanted. The closets, we went with the bifold doors. I haven't lived here yet, so I can't comment too much on the bifold doors except to say they save a ton of space. When they open, they don't take up near as much of the room. When they close, they look, I think they look pretty nice. So bifold doors is a great way to save space, I think. And they're pretty easy to install. I was impressed with how easy it was. Those are new doors. When we moved in here, the floor was rotted out and this door was rotted out. You could see straight down 4 feet into the gravel crawl space. And that's intimidating. If you go to look at a house and you see things like massive holes in the floor, just know this. Those are like the easiest problems in a house to fix, so long as like the foundation is okay and the sill plate of the house isn't rotted out. What I found is usually the things that look the worst when you go look at houses, this is the third house we bought, the things that look the worst are generally the things that are the easiest to fix. It's not hard to fix construction issues in a house, by and large. But the things that you don't see, electrical, plumbing, the things behind the walls, the spongy floors that you're not prepared to deal with, those things can take you a ton of time. Roof issues, the big glaring things, generally, this is a rule of thumb here, are not that rough to fix. So it's something to keep in mind, I guess. The bathroom was a full remodel too, new floors. We redid all the walls. Actually, we kept the shower insert here, the tub and shower insert, so I can't say it's a full remodel. We also kept the mirrors. We saved a lot of money redoing these vanity lights. We just got a Rust-Oleum white spray because we were happy with white, and resprayed them and refinished them. And we bought new, let me turn them off so you can see. Yeah, we bought new shades, glass shades for them. Those things, to buy them new, are like $100 a piece easy for light fixtures. So if you can refurbish the existing light fixtures with a good paint, it's worth taking the time to do it. You'll save a lot of money. New vanity, new plumbing, new toilet. So this room, it took a long time. Bathrooms and kitchens just take a long, long time. If you've never done this before, whatever you think it's going to take, just multiply it by like 5 for bathrooms and kitchens, unless you're better than I am. Now we took, which is entirely possible, a wall out here. The wall, right where that header board is, there was a wall all the way across here, and then there was a door right there on the right side of the room. And that door was an exterior door that went out to the garage. And basically, you would come over here and you would open this door and you would, walk down a couple steps and you'd be in a pantry room. And there was another wall. You can see how the flooring works here. If you can see that blue stripe, that's where another wall was. So there was this really small, narrow room, which is where they had their washer and dryer and stuff. And you see the blue floor over there? Well, there was a wall right where that white is. So really, where you see the white on the floor, that was the utility room coming this way. All the way down, you can see where the blue is underneath. I've repainted over it, but the blue all the way down to that wall. So basically, you would go right there, through a door, down a couple steps, and then if you wanted to go out into the garage, through another door where there was another wall, and then you went out into the garage. And there were some other structural issues, but it's way too hard to explain on the phone here or this video. You can go back and look through some of my original videos to see how this garage looked. Basically, to make a long story short, we took down all the walls, everything. The ceiling was not nearly as hard to fix as I thought it would be. There were holes in this ceiling and issues in the ceiling everywhere. And Carl Klein said, you know what, you can do this yourself. I got a quote to fix all of this ceiling, and it is a ton of space. And basically, the cheapest quote I could find was like $1,800 to fix all of the ceiling for the entire garage. I mean, everything. It probably cost me $100 to $110 to fix the ceiling. It is not nearly as hard as drywall people will make it sound. It is a ton of work, a ton of manual labor, but literally, you're saving probably 10 to 15 times what it would cost you to do it yourself if you take the time to fix all of the ceiling issues. It takes work. There's a little bit of artistry to it. But now, after retexturing the ceiling, you know, you're not going to be able to tell too well in the video, but even just looking up with, you know, your own eyes in real life, you cannot hardly tell that there were any ceiling issues here at all. And if you were trying to pick out where there were ceiling problems, I mean, I think it would be a challenge, and I'm pretty critical. All of these pot lights are new. There were really no good lights out here. Also, we had to run new heating out here, and we just got lucky with the right number of vents, I think, for the heating and air. There were a ton of issues on that wall, and the outside of this house and all of the issues that it took replacing 2 bay garage doors on that wall is more than this video is going to allow, but it was a lot of time. We still have to carpet this room. Dave Philbeck from Richmond Carpet Outlet has been very kind to come and help and give me ideas of what we should do and do measurements, so I'd highly recommend Richmond Carpet Outlet. Pretty happy with this room, to be honest with you. This was the reason we bought this house to move into. This big area with the kitchen over there and this great room. It's like a 27 by 22 room. Oh, I'm tripping over my tools. This is the reason we bought the house. We want to be able to put a couple couches here. We want to have a couple high tabletops there, computer desks along the wall there, have the kitchen there. And we want everybody to be able to be together in the same area, whether they're cooking or watching television or on the computer or reading or playing a game at a tabletop. We'll see how it works out, but I am just really fortunate with all the people who have helped me. I want to especially thank my dad and Justin Murphy, who have spent so much time at this house. It's really neat to finally say that on June 20th, we get to spend a night here, and hopefully a lot of nights here moving forward. I could have gone into a lot more detail, and maybe I will in some other videos trying to explain some things to look for when you're doing small renovation jobs in a house, but I think this is pretty honest. This is obviously not a professionally done home, and it's obviously not a new home, but I think it's going to work. So for everybody who's helped or prayed for us as we went through this, thanks a lot, and have a good evening.